My name is Zohra Ali and I'm studying the Master of Business Administration. I was considering doing my Master of Laws for a while. That's the course that I'm currently studying and about to finish, and I'm about to start my MBA. And when I was doing my Master of Law research, I was already enrolled with another university and they changed their course structure quite a bit, and I found it to become a bit inflexible with working full time. I looked into it a bit more, made some inquiries and found that there was so much more flexibility. The units that it was offering corresponded with my area of interest, so I ended up enrolling. And then sometime after that, I started inquiring about the MBA because I've always wanted to go down the managerial path. So even though I'm a lawyer, I don't want to just be doing law, I also want to manage at some point. And yeah, I inquired about the MBA, found that they had a 100% online degree, which really suited me, and decided to enroll into that as well. Definitely. In terms of the MBA, the one unit I did complete was Economics and Statistical Analysis, and I now really understand the importance and the manner in which you can draw out patterns from looking at reports. So our system that we use at work, it gives you all these reports on, our billables, our profit and loss, things like that, and you can look at how much has come from each department, which department's making the most money, at what points in time in the year. And I now understand how you can actually interpret that information using what I learned in that unit to sort of plan ahead and, anticipate when is it going to peak and when is it probably not going to peak. It's been really good. I really, really love the flexibility. With my job, there are nights where I'll end up being stuck at work till 10 p.m. And if I was to be doing a MBA at another university where most of them only have courses where they're maybe half online, but you're still expected to go in at night from 6 to 9 for at least once a week, that just wouldn't work for me. I wouldn't be able to do it. There's just too much of a risk that I'll have a deadline at work. Being a lawyer, if there's a court deadline, it's a court deadline and it needs to be met. I wouldn't be able to go to my class, but with the MBA, I can just go home and switch on the webinar or listen to the recording of the session from the previous week. So it's really good in that way. I think have a diary, get a planner. I think it's very important that when you start off your semester, you look at all of your assessments, all of the due dates, you open up your diary, jot them all down, and then set yourself a reminder a couple of weeks beforehand so that you don't forget about it, that it's time to start focusing on it and looking at it, and do it bit by bit instead of leaving it to the last minute and adding all this extra pressure on yourself. If you do it bit by bit, you'll find that by the time the due dates arrive, you've already pretty much finished. And it's very important to do it that way if you want to maintain a work-lifestyle balance. With that said, I'm a strong believer that sometimes if you're passionate about what you're doing, you don't really care about balance because it all just gets whirled together and you're like, it doesn't matter if I don't get to see my friends this weekend because I really want to get this assignment done. I really want to move forward with my degree. I'll get to see them next weekend, or I'll finish my assignment and then to reward myself, I'll go out for ice cream. So I tend to reward myself and that keeps me motivated with hitting the little small goals, always bearing in mind that the overall goal is to graduate from the degree. And I have previously studied at other universities where there's such an active involvement with the students. I find that generally, once you've become a student, they kind of leave you alone because it's like, yes, we gotta. But with this university, I've noticed it's actually increased after I became a student. I'm regularly getting contacted by my student success advisor. She just checks in. It doesn't even have to be, for any purpose other than how you're going, how your assessment's going. And it's interesting that you bring that up because she actually called me today to check in on how everything was and reminded me about, graduation from my Master of Laws and the process of applying to graduate. So it's really good to know that there's someone out there who's thinking of you and has you on their list of students that, they're across.